All right, everybody. Yeah, I'm here from Librato. Hopefully you've heard of Librato. If you haven't, we're a platform for all of your real-time operation metrics, and that's all of the time series or telemetry, as you would have it, about your cloud-level metrics, your system-level metrics, application performance metrics. I'm Joseph Ruscio on Twitter and GitHub. I'm the co-founder and CTO, and if you've ever talked to me, you know I love graphs, I love data, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing. Quick review just in terms of specifying the pain that we solve. This isn't going to be a surprise to anyone on this audience, but you're on the very bleeding edge. There's a sea change in delivering software. There's a bunch of drivers. There's now ephemeral computing. There's continuous delivery. So we've gone from static instances. We've gone from scheduled releases to continuous delivery. Now microservices, we had two people talk about containers, so we're going from monolithic apps with a single app and a single database to what Adrian Cockcroft from Netflix and now Battery calls the Death Star configuration, where you've got these graphs with 1 million lines connecting all your services. And perhaps the biggest change is we have developers mucking around in production and being involved in shipping code to production, being involved in handling production issues. And what we found at the tooling, this is not going to be surprising when here, the tooling designed for a different area, for that static, does not scale here. And so we built Librato. And it's, as I said, it's a complete platform for all of your, what we call custom metrics, but really anything that moves and you measure a value at it at some period. And so we have upwards of 100. We're a platform. We don't have a proprietary agent or an agent we control. There's 100 plus open source software and service integrations, so everything from AWS CloudWatch to Heroku to Collectd to StatsD, Drop Wizard metrics, Rails active support notifications. You can build a composable data collection on your app and send all the data to us. And then we give you rich tools to do data visualization, to query and do ad hoc composition, as well as full alerting capabilities. And most importantly, this is fully programmable and extensible via our APIs. Everything is accessible through an API. We build all of our integrations. We build our app on top of the API. So literally anything we can do, you can do. This isn't lock-in. You can get all of your data out. You can do your own custom alerting, your own visualization. And this is because our end goal is to give people the ability to do what up until now only the Twitters, the Googles, the Facebooks have been able to do, where it's $1 million entry tag, millions of dollars of entry tags, because you need a team of 10 to 20 people for your observability engineering. You need to build custom hardware infrastructure and all the integrations. Here's an example just of one of our real-time dashboards for one of the services in our infrastructure. All of our services have dashboards. Our customers who do microservices have service-level dashboards. Our alerting with integrations with PagerDuty, Slack, HipChat, Campfire, and custom webhooks. And that's who we are. Now I come to the show. So we're here today to talk about our next generation UI. And we started earlier this year. We came to a conclusion, or we came to a question point, a decision point. We had a lot of things we wanted to do in our UI. Like, we're now 3 years in. We broke ground on it in late 2011. And we're running into problems in terms of there's technical debt. JavaScript apps have changed a lot in the last 3 years. When we built our first app, it was event bubbling with jQuery, right? And a completely custom event routing system, which, while elegant, was proprietary, and every developer we brought on had to learn our framework, our system. Now you have all these frameworks like Angular, Ember, and Backbone that were just emerging out of the primordial ooze at the time. Perhaps even more pernicious, though, was what we think of as our UX and product debt. So our product has evolved over the last 3 years from what was an extremely lean MVP product, right, borderline. And we've been adding features and iterating on it for the last 3 years and pushing things in that we had never envisioned and backporting that into the original design. And if you have an app with a feature-rich app, you know that the impact of bringing new features in, it's not linear, it's exponential in terms of all the different states you have to consider. We decided that we had stuck in a local maximum, we had to move forward. So we released this, a worldwide preview release, last week at reInvent. I'm just going to run through a quick recorded demo. So we're just going to go through and build a small workspace here in this. Going to create an empty space, leverage our top-down workflow to add a new line chart. We're pulling up some JVM performance metrics. And this is our full screen search for a large space, so we're leveraging the full screen real estate there. We can see the preview of what's going to show on the workspace, add a name, save it, and then we'll be back, and you can see it in place. We can precisely size and place it. We're just going to size that one there. And now we're going to go ahead and add a different data visualization type. So this is completely new to this UI. We've broken out the design space. These are bullet graphs, which are analogous to the old style speedometer graph, only a much more data-dense representation. Editing charts is really straightforward too. We're going to just pop right back in, break this out from a summary statistic across multiple instances to see the individual readings, and pop right back to our dashboard. Okay. And we're going to edit this chart, the one we just put on. We're going to add some of our annotation or event markers. So you can come in anything like deploys or batch jobs. You can search and add them, and we're going to draw those as markers on the chart. And so you can correlate events against your time series data coming in. Move those around. This display type we affectionately call big number. I think we're going to need a better marketing name, but we haven't gotten that far yet. Pops up if something's real important. You can just put it there, see it. All right, and the last chart we're going to add, we're going to demonstrate our ad hoc query editor. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a raw latency metric, and we're going to pop up, and we're going to define a mathematical function. We'll say, well, we also want to see the moving average of this. So we're going to see a smooth curve of the same metric against the raw latency numbers. And this is useful for like really noisy metrics. Pop in our editor, define it. Coming back, saving it. See it pop up. We'll just expand it there so you can see the smooth curve through the noise. This is our dynamic legend. Finally, coming in, we can actually at any point in time, we can filter, we can see that one line. We can also sort on the different either value or name. We can add a name to the space, which we're doing here, and then we can favorite it. So it's very easy the next time we come in the app to find this. All right, and that's just that's your 2 minutes to a dashboard or workspace in Librato. So the tell part, just a couple takeaways from this process. One, if you're going to do this, you have to be all in. No half measures. This was a huge investment, borderline gamble for us. And so our creative team, our small creative team, spent upwards of 6 to 8 weeks just iterating on comps and workflows, making sure we addressed all the past sins of our previous UI before we broke any code. This is just one of the comps going through all the different screens. One of my pet peeves is people who spend a weekend looking at some brand new technology and write a blog post all about how to use it. And then other people make decisions over whether or not to run it in production based on said blog post. So knowing this, when we decided we were going to build this, in parallel to the creative team working on the comps, we spent that 6 to 8 weeks. We'd done the literature evaluation. We picked Angular. We spent the 6 to 8 weeks building out a significant other feature in the app using Angular. And even though it's great, and I know it's working really well for a lot of teams, came to the conclusion that it wasn't right for us and made a different choice. Had we not done that, we would have been pot committed, and we would be stuck with that in our new UI across the site for a long time. Usability testing works. So in the 2 months between September 10th and November 10th, when we did the preview release, we onboarded about 8 hand-picked users onto this, about 1 a week or every week and a half, and we did it on site. We went to their office, sat in a conference room, had them mirror their display to a TV, flagged them onto the feature, didn't tell them anything, and said, go to work. And every single one, and if we had all the time in the world, we'd probably still be doing that, but we don't. Every single one of those, we took things away and made changes based on it. Last piece, balance is going to be really hard if you do this. It was for us. You're going to be moving. We were moving at what felt like 100 miles an hour internally, and you have to really struggle to prevent the perception to your users that you're crawling, because you're focusing all your energy on this new thing they're not aware of, they're not seeing, and your current UI velocity is stagnating at best. And every kind of feature bug fix that comes up, you have to decide, do we fix it in the old UI, do we throw more sunk costs there, or do we just spend that time moving forward to the new one? Last piece was how we can collaborate. So Librato Platform, we have tons of turnkey solutions, people like Papertrail, like I said, AWS, VicDrops, PagerDuty. If you can be a data source or a data notification sync, I'd love to talk to you. We have full white label capabilities. If you'd like to give your users better analytics, you can embed any of these charts in a third-party web application. We have several users who power their in-app analytics, both the back end and front end with Librato. We run the SF Metrics meetup, very popular. It's got, I think, pushing like 1,500 users. So if you have any kind of talk on anything to do with data analysis, I need speakers. We'll get you a good audience. And the last thing is I love coffee, as well as graphs. So if anyone ever wants to talk, we sit at 2nd and Market Street, just down the Muni. So we can coffee Sight Glass, we can coffee there, we can coffee here. So love to chat. All right, that's it.